Welcome back to Open Line. We are talking about ending domestic violence and sexual assault tonight. I have Robin Kimbrough here with me from the Tennessee Coalition to End Domestic and Sexual Violence. I want to switch the topic a little bit to sexual violence and sexual assault. You told me about a new law that really is revolutionary, and we've got it in Tennessee.
It's a
3-year wait.
This is a piece of legislation Kathy Walsh, our executive director of the coalition, worked really hard on, and Tennessee should be really proud of the work that she does with the Tennessee Coalition on policy work. And this law is actually an opportunity for rape victims to they'll come in and get a sexual assault exam. The law had already said that healthcare providers do not have to call the police when a sexual assault victim presents. This will allow the rape victim to get a rape kit done, and if they choose not to report the sexual assault, the hold kit will be assigned a number. And the hold kit will be kept for up to 3 years.
Wow.
So the sexual assault victim has up to 3 years to decide whether they want to report the rape or not. So that is really awesome that the rape victim has time to decide about reporting the sexual assault.
What kind of scenarios do you envision this benefiting? Why would a woman say, I don't know whether I want to report right now, let me think about it?
Well, first it's the shame piece of it. Embarrassed that somebody that I loved raped me, because most sexual assaults occur with someone that the victim knew.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult for somebody to be sexually assaulted and to number one, make the decision to come in to get a rape kit done, a forensic rape exam done, and then to be investigated by the police. So it's a hurdle for sexual assault victims to cross. It's that extra layer of shame and blame. I really caused the rape. So it's places like the Sexual Assault Center that we want to refer that sexual assault victim to. And then after working with those wonderful counselors, and I have to say I think the Sexual Assault Center is the best in the state of Tennessee at working with sexual assault victims. And after working with that sexual assault victim might say, you know, I want to report.
Yeah.
I'm empowered now. And so this 3-year period gives that victim that opportunity to do that. Good. And so I think Tennessee is awesome for passing that piece of legislation. If the victim decides they want to report at the hospital or later at that time, TBI has 60 days to process that rape kit. So I think this is huge. So one of the issues that this new law sought to address was the backlog of rape kits being tested. There were a huge number of rape kits in Memphis, the Shelby County area, and they wanted to come up with a process of eliminating that backlog. So I'm really proud of that piece of legislation. One thing I want to add too, that sexual assault is often a component of domestic violence, forcing the victim to do things sexually he or she may not want to do. So that's a component of power and control.
And that can very much happen within a marriage relationship, not just, you know.
Absolutely.
It does happen in intimate relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And 10 years ago when I started working at the coalition, our coalition, Kathy Walsh, worked to eliminate the spousal rape law, because 10 years ago Tennessee said rape was not rape in the context of marriage, and Tennessee finally got rid of that language out of the statute, and it says rape is rape whether you're married to the person or not. And so these are issues that we discuss with the faith community, because a lot of times sacred scriptures can promote this kind of violence.
Right, I understand. You know, I had not thought about that until you brought it up today. That had never entered my mind, that it really does have a spiritual component. It can, and it really has to do with the mind of the abuser and how they want to have that power and control, what they can use.
Absolutely. Spiritual abuse, I think, is one of the worst ways a person can tear down the victim. So we go back to isolation. So the very thing that empowers you, that makes you feel like you can do anything, that the very thing that comforts you when you're sad or when you're lonely or brings you joy, I'm going to isolate you from that. I'm going to isolate you you from your relationship with your faith, your relationship with God, or your belief systems in that area. So it goes back down to this power and control wheel.
Okay, we have short on time. We need to talk about a big event that you guys have coming up to mark Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's a walk-run coming up.
I'm so excited that we we're putting together a walk-run, the first domestic violence walk-run here in Nashville, Tennessee. And so it will take place at, oh my gosh, Warner Park.
Shelter 11.
Shelter 11.
Yes.
And
it's this
Saturday, and people can, on Halloween, it's called Unmasked Domestic Violence. So everyone will receive a mask, and after they cross the finish line, they will take off their mask.
Wonderful.
And so it is our first time doing this, so we're on a little wobbly legs.
That's okay.
We plan to be stronger next year, so it'll be another Halloween race. So we're encouraging people to wear their costumes, to wear masks, and it's a $10 entry fee, and you can register at active.com.
Active.com. So this Saturday, what time did you say?
October 31st, 7:30 a.m. starts registration, and 8:30 starts the run walk.
How long do we have to run or walk?
Not too long. It's not a true 5K, I will confess. So,
and you can walk it, stroll, whatever you want to do. It's more about raising awareness.
Yes, we want everyone to become educated on this issue of domestic violence, because everybody knows somebody who is in a domestic violence relationship.
We said it at the beginning of the hour, 1 in 3 women, that's about the statistic, 1 in 3 will be abused at some point in their life in some sort of intimate relationship they're in, and that is so scary. So scary to think of. The women around you, how many will be abused?
And remember, anybody can be a victim.
Yeah.
And anybody can be a perpetrator.
So that's powerful. Anybody can be a perpetrator.
That's exactly right.
Wow. What is a number? If someone says, I'm ready to make a call, give me a number.
I would recommend that they call the YWCA's hotline at 615-242-1199.
Say it again.
615-242-1199, or Morning Star, 615-860-0003.
Good enough. If you want to write down those numbers, we're going to take a quick commercial break, grab a pen and paper. We're going to be right back. I'm going to have Robin give those again, so stay with us.